What it means to truly leave a legacy. Imagine being remembered not for your name, not for your fame, not for the titles written beside your photograph, but for the way you made people think. Neil deGrasse Tyson has spent his life not chasing recognition, but reshaping minds. He says his true impact would be when people no longer quote him, but instead think for themselves. Because if someone says, "This is true because Tyson said so," then he has failed. True teaching, according to him, is not about authority, it's about empowerment. It's about showing you how to look at the universe with your own eyes, to discover your own meaning, to unlock your own hunger for knowledge. His life advice begins not with "follow me," but with "think for yourself." And that alone is enough to leave you speechless. Creating meaning instead of searching for it. Too many people wander through life as though meaning is hidden somewhere under a rock, waiting to be discovered. Tyson flips this on its head. He insists, you don't find meaning, you create it. Every day you live, you have the power to design the significance of your own existence. For him, meaning is simple yet profound. Do I know more about the world today than I did yesterday? Have I, in any way, lessened the suffering of others? Have I made someone's life just a little better? It's not about spending every waking hour sacrificing yourself. It's about those small, powerful gestures that ripple outward. 10 minutes of your life, if used with intention, can lighten the burden for another person. And to neglect that, he says, would be irresponsible. Meaning is not handed down to us. It's built moment by moment, choice by choice, action by action. Lessons from family, mentors, and the power of curiosity. Tyson carries with him the wisdom of his father, a man told he would never excel in track because of his body type. But instead of accepting that label, he turned it into fuel, eventually becoming world-class. That lesson is clear. Never let others define your limits. Tyson himself was mentored by the legendary Carl Sagan, who extended kindness to a 17-year-old Bronx kid who loved the stars. Sagan didn't just welcome him into his office. He opened his home, showing that greatness is not about prestige, but about generosity. Tyson vowed that if he ever reached such a level of recognition, he would treat students with the same kindness. And he did. His philosophy of education is simple yet revolutionary. Preserve curiosity. Too often, schools crush it, teaching you to memorize, test, and perform instead of wonder, explore, and experiment. But Tyson says true education is not the end of learning. It's the beginning. To be curious is to stay alive. To question is to grow. To remain hungry is to truly live. Facing a fractured world with strength and resilience. We live in a world divided, tribalized, fueled by voices online that often tear rather than build. Tyson reminds us that while words can wound, they cannot define us unless we allow them to. He recalls an old saying, "Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me." While today we recognize the power of words to affect mental health, Tyson also insists that we must not surrender our resilience. The insults of others, the judgments, the biases, these are only obstacles if you let them block your path. He says, when someone is between you and your goal, you don't crumble. You decide, do I go around them, leap over them, or take another path entirely? You remain unshaken because your mission is bigger than their opinion. This is how you win, not with bitterness, not with retaliation, but with relentless progress. The world will always have critics, but your purpose must be stronger than their noise. The call to humanity and lifelong growth. Neil deGrasse Tyson's greatest life advice is this: be ashamed to die until you have scored some victory for humanity. That victory isn't about statues, applause, or recognition. It's not about having your name carved in stone. It's about leaving the world better than you found it. It's about lessening suffering, igniting curiosity, and inspiring growth, not for yourself, but for all of humanity. That is the true meaning of a legacy. And it all begins with a mindset, the mindset of curiosity, of resilience, of creation. Tyson teaches us that knowledge is not static, it is alive. That meaning is not discovered, it is created. That impact is not measured by praise, but by how others carry forward the spark you left within them. So ask yourself today, will you be remembered for the titles you carried or for the victories you gave to humanity? The choice is yours. And if you want to continue growing, questioning, and reaching beyond limits, then subscribe to my channel, Limitless Mindset, where together we unlock the potential to leave behind a legacy that will echo for generations.